Hello and welcome to this first lecture of the new section on new digital growth in this course on excellence in digital strategy. So the purpose of this module is specifically to help you understand how to drive new digital growth to build excellence in winning digital strategy for any organization. And in this particular lecture, we're going to talk about how to drive this new digital growth. So how do you think you can drive the new digital growth to drive excellence in digital strategy and digital transformation? Any thoughts? So how do you think a company creates value? See, the company valuation basically, there are many factors that drive company valuation, the value that company has in the marketplace. It could be that you have real estates, you have your improvement in profitability. But if you even talk to the financial analysts, they say that the business growth accounts for the major increase in company valuations. There's a wonderful work that was done by uh, Benjamin Graham in his book called The Intelligent Investor, and in which he has found the formulation for the intrinsic value of a company. And can you believe the most important factor there is the growth of the company over the last 5 years? However, this source of growth has inherent limitation. There is a limitation. As if you remember the product life cycle, after certain years or decades, the product adoption reaches a maturity level and your growth starts plateauing. So that's a time you need to look for new sources of growth before you get disrupted by a new technology adopter or a competitor. So that's important for creating a value. So sustained value for sustained value creation, what you need is what is called ambidexterity. So let's understand what is ambidexterity. So in a company continuously at a top level and a business leader level, you have two tasks to continue to do. One is exploitation and second is exploration. Exploitation is about exploiting your current business maximum, and you must be, so that requires you to be efficient in managing your current or legacy business, which is a predominant source of value today. So you have come along to a great value in the stock market or valuation, and that has happened because you have existing business. Let's call that legacy business. So you must be efficient in doing that. That's what is called exploitation. At the same time, you need to build new businesses, and that is called exploration. That will add to the future growth even by disrupting the legacy business. Because if you don't do that, someone else will do that. So exploitation of core business and exploration of adjacencies at the same time leads to 6% faster growth with 2.4% higher stockholders return. And this doing this together with two hands, ambidexterity is what is called ambidexterity, and that gives you sustainable value creation. 3M has been a great example of trying to do this successfully at times, not so successfully at other times. So 2000 to 2004, then CEO of the company focused on efficiency, and as you can see, their operating income and sales went up, but the new product vitality index, which captured the kind of new innovations that they bring in, it dropped over a period of time. 2005, they realized that, and then they got into focusing on the new product vitality, and they increased their new product innovations, the contribution of business from the new product, but at the same time their operating income and sales kind of stagnated. So it is a challenge even for a great innovating company like 3M. So what happens? Why most companies fail to become ambidextrous, and why does that happen? It happens because they fall into one of the two traps. One is the success trap. Success trap is that you become a victim of by being a bit too long in the your current business, your incumbency business, or your legacy business, and you ignore the future business. You think the world is around your current business, like Nokia. So Nokia thought they are in the feature phone business. They focused on feature phone business, and they started believing that's the only thing, and they ignored the touchscreen phones. So that's the success trap. So your success makes you uncomfortable dealing with something else which is new, and you say no, that's not the right way to go. The second is what is called perpetual search trap, in which you keep searching for innovations. You keep inventing new things, but you don't monetize those innovations. Xerox is again a great example. They invented modern PC, laser printers, Ethernets, but fail to monetize these inventions. So you fall into one of these traps, and that's what makes you a failure so far as the ambidexterity is concerned. So how can you avoid both the traps and achieve ambidexterity is the question. Because ambidexterity is important for your sustained value creation, as we say, and that is what creates the new digital growth, right? So there are a couple of things that you need to do. First, you need to keep switching. What are the one of the ways you can do is to keep switching between exploration and exploitation. You need to do both. So one is to keep switching. So if you're a head of a business, a leader of the business, you proactively can take team from exploration stage to exploitation and exploitation to exploration at the end of the product adoption cycle. So if you are an existing legacy business, when you reach at the end of the product adoption cycle, you can take the team to the exploration stage and the early stages of the substitution technology. Now, this approach is hard to practice. It requires you to get the timing right, and it requires you to change your team to change their complete set of mind from doing what is right for exploitation to exploration, and that's not easy. The second method is to separate this. Now, you separate the two separate organizations in the company for exploration and for exploitation. So you create separate units with separate objectives, small team of explorers on the fringes of organization with a very different kind of profile, like digital natives. So they keep looking for exploration. Their mandate is think of new sources of growth. And while the legacy team, the exploitation team, the current business teams continues to work that. And this is doable. It costs you a bit more, but it is a good way to be ambidextrous. Third is to use the ecosystem. So you can rely on your ecosystem by sourcing ideas externally. Like a lot of it is Google does that, right? Apart from doing internal exploration. Uh, by sourcing idea externally in the form of acquisition, partnership, incubation, and more informal ways and exchange of ideas. So use the ecosystem for doing that, and this is a doable thing also. So these are the couple of ways that you can use to achieve to avoid the trap and achieve ambidextrity. Another thing important is apart from being ambidextrous, what you need to do is achieve a right balance of resource allocation. So what is called resource orchestration is critical for your success. So you need to find the right balance from time to time between the the resources you're putting in exploration versus exploitation. Whatever is your starting point, you put X percentage on exploration. You will need to continuously monitor the results and adjust that X according to, depending on the environment, and the results of the resource allocation to find the right balance between exploration and exploitation. Use like in case of 3M, in the second stage, they did put money in the first stage. They must have put some money in exploration, but that didn't result in the kind of results that they wanted. And the environment was offered a lot more opportunity. So the second phase, they shifted. They must have put more allocation resources to exploration phase, and that made the results happen. So resource orchestration is critical to achieve the success. So having looked at how to drive the new digital growth at a high level, what do we do in the next? What do we do next? So in the next module, we will come more to the ground level from a helicopter view to what are the challenges in driving this new digital growth and how does one handle that? And that will be more hands-on from having a 30,000 feet view. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture on new digital growth. I hope again you've learned something new, you have enjoyed, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture.